38th meeting ever between USI and Lewis. They meet for the first time in the Great Lakes Valley 95 season. We welcome you to our season premiere of USI baseball here on TV 52. Later in the week, we'll continue our coverage of USI basketball in Louisville, but some unfinished business early in the season. The beginning of the conference season, always contested in the GLBC. Warren?
USI has been very successful in the GLBC and reaching the NCAA tournament a couple times here in the not too distant future, or past, should I say. And we were out here scouting the Eagles against Quincy, and I thought they looked really good early in the season.
Well, there's a lot of firepower on the team. You talk about the pitching and definitely the hitting is there. And a lot of local products we talked about last year, and of course, second-year head coach Mike Gady has added a couple of those, including here on the mound, not added, but has been here a while. The modern-day pitcher Todd Niemeyer is 1-2 on the year, 23 1/3 innings pitched. He has struck out 17, walked 8, a 3.09 ERA. He gets the starting nod, and you got to like this kid, the preseason All-American.
And then on top of that, the weather is just sensational all week long. The temperature's been up in the 70-degree mark, and today it's going to be in the upper 60s, if not maybe hit 70, and the sun is bright, and it's just a perfect day for baseball.
Well, the familiar opponent of Lewis tonight, they are 7-6. They are 12th in the country, but that's a legitimate 7-6. As I told you at the top of the telecast, Lewis has played 7 Division I schools and fared quite well against the teams from, Boston University for one, and they lost to Villanova twice, but played them tough. They've also beaten Florida, actually lost to Florida Atlantic, but the Devil teams are there in their schedule strength.
Well, I think that in basketball, there's a major difference between Division I and Division II. In baseball, I think it's just a slight difference. There's a great pool of talent of some great players, and those that go to D1, there's very little difference between a D1 and D2 player. Maybe just a little bit more power and a little bit more speed, but these kids will be able to hit the ball.
This is the first of 4 for USI. 4-game homestand this weekend. Lewis today for 2, and then St. Joe tomorrow. You'll see game 1 of that doubleheader tomorrow night at 10:30, actually at 11 o'clock here as well, following that of the Bruce Pearl Show. Scott Schuster starts things off for Lewis at 7-6. He's the designated hitter. Rick Moss will follow the third baseman, and then that of Kurt Brooks. Out of the 3-hole and bats the first baseman cleanup Brian Gibbons, Barisi, Janik, Bernhard, Gros, Renaud, Steer, and Vavrick.
First pitch just a little bit outside.
Vavrick on the hill, leading the Lewis 9. First look at Schuster. Taking one out of play and a foul ball.
That's why when you come out here to these games, you do not want to park anywhere near the diamond.
You park as far away as possible, but I bet you your car gets hit before. Not today, before the end of the season. Schuster coming in batting .313 for Lewis at 7-6.
Fouled both of them away.
When you talk about these teams really bulking up in the spring season, a lot of teams head down to Florida, which was the case of Lewis. They played over at Lynn and Barry. Florida Atlantic, as I told you earlier.
Be a perfect position for an off-speed pitch right here.
Come on, Chew.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Nemo trying to get him on the outside and has him looking. So the first in the book for Todd Niemeyer, and Schuster goes down looking.
Well, hopefully maybe somebody in the crowd or the fans may come out here, may bring a bunch of K signs that they could tack up along the outfield fence as the first strikeout.
Strikeout number 18 of the year for Todd Niemeyer. Again, 1-2 and 23 1/3 innings pitched. 18 strikeout of the year for Nemo. Take a look at Rick Moss, the third baseman for Lewis. Flyers looking for wins number 8 and 9 on the season after a pretty tough early season schedule over in Florida.
Right now, Niemeyer's control looks excellent, keeping the ball low. A lot of pop to it.
Moss, your leader here at .417, the batting average. At bat number 61 on the year. Early season for Rick Moss, but a good one.
Well, the key in baseball for any pitcher is to get ahead and stay ahead of all the batters.
1 ball, 1 strike here to Moss. And Niemeyer placing early. And Niemeyer's, if you recall, years past, Warren, you've been out here a couple of times. I know you weren't here last year, but you've seen USI in the past. And Niemeyer's the kind of pitcher who usually gets off, I think, on a strong foot. 2-1 and trying to get the inside corner, misses in 3-1 after striking out the first.
Last 2 pitches were just a hair off the inside corner.
Moss out of the local Lockport, right next to Lewis University. And a longtime head coach, Irish O'Reilly. That one taken into left field. Sam Marks coming on. And Lewis has their first aboard. Rick Moss with a 1-out single.
And the hole between shortstop and third base. Perfectly hit.
Next up for the Flyers, the first baseman, number 16.
USI defensively, Todd Niemeyer on the hill. Darryl Adler behind the plate. Jason Kroc over at first base. Corey Lamb, the former right standout, down at second. Barry Strauss at the shortstop. Craig Harper down at third base. Outfield left to right. Sam Marks, Jay Engelbrecht, and Ryan Seidel out of Jasper High School.
Corey Lamb will play just a shade over to his left, hopefully to try and turn the double play, but leaves more of a hole hole between short and third.
First look at Kurt Brooks tonight, the first baseman here for Lewis. And Brooks on the year. 356, respectable 45 at bats this year. That of the number 3 batter in Kurt Brooks. Gibbons on deck. Marisi to follow, one out here in the top half of the first inning. This first one's scheduled for 7 innings.
Going to keep the runner honest. Don't want to give him too much of a lead.
Boss's numbers on the year, 7 for 7 on stolen bases. Out by 2.5 over at first base. 1-0 could be a double play ball. Down to Corey Lamb. Will go for the guaranteed over at first base. Second out of the inning.
Give the sacrifice to Moss, or to Bruck.
Next up for the Flyers,
And Brian
center
Gibbons.
fielder, number 35, Brian Gibbons.
Gibbons at 264, at bat number 54 for him on the year. You take a look at a lot of the batting average, which are inflated early in the season. But 13 games like that of USI for Lewis at 7-6 against D1 pitching. Talked to you also at the top of the telecast about USI. 2 of their 4 losses to the D1 schools in Tennessee, Martin, and IU before they headed out to their spring trip over in Georgia.
Always seems the beginning of the season that the batters get a little bit of a jump over the pitching.
Eagles get out of it. That time Lamb to Kroc, as was the last. 4 up, 1 on. They'll score nothing here in the top half of the first inning. We welcome you back to USI Baseball. You're watching it tonight on
First inning
TV
for the
52.
Flyers, no runs.
What if we told you there's a bank that offers the best checking package you'll find anywhere? With no hassles, just lots of benefits, privileges, and perks. All in one package. All for you. Yeah, you. Got it? Bonus Checking Plus. Only from Old National. You knew it all along, right?
There's a notion going around that in business today, the only thing that matters is price. We think service is equally important. James Will Insurance. Writing property and casualty insurance for your business is only a part of what our business is all about. James Will Insurance.
Mike Vavrick against the Sterling Dawn tonight for Irish O'Reilly. Vavrick 0-1 on the season in 12 innings pitched. He has struck out 12, walked 8, a 4.50 ERA. Tonight he faces your first look at USI on 52 tonight. Barry Strouser leads off at shortstop. Jay Engelbrecht, the red shirt from last year out of Harrison High School at center field, bats out of the 2-hole. Kevin Irons, great year last year for Irons. He bats out of the 3-hole. Then Jason Kroc will bat cleanup. Carpenter, Seidel, Marks, Adler, and Lamb round out your USI starting 9 tonight.
I think yesterday would have been a more appropriate day to play Lewis with Irish O'Reilly.
Yeah, pretty good, Warren. He's been there a while. He's had a lot of success here with the Lewis Flyers. Lewis, of course, a baseball powerhouse for a while here in the D1 ranks. And right now come in at number 12.
Barry Strouser.
Number 12 here in NCAA Division II, and Barry Strouser.
I think I probably heard.
Steps up, and Strouser these days at 260, not where he wants to be. Those numbers will rise for Strouser, your leadoff man tonight for USI. Strouser out of Springfield Eastern High School, here in his senior year with the Eagles.
I kind of keep track.
A lot of speed and leadoff. That's what you want.
Good shot, Mike.
Favor.
Oh, come on, Blue.
That and on
Trying to
base.
find room, it just misses.
Yeah, that and on base percentage.
Come on back, man.
And take a look at the top, the top couple of batters here for USI. You get Engelbrecht, who's used to being in a leadoff role himself over at Harrison High School. He just finds a way to get on base, will bat out of the 2-hole. What a great year it was, as I said moments ago, for Kevin Irons, that of a year ago. 2-1 here to Barry Strouser. And comes back with a 2-2 count.
Pitcher ahead in the count now will probably serve up something that will be off the plate somewhere.
Then you get Jason Kroc batting cleanup for USI to add some more to your top 4, but there's not a weak link really in this 9 for USI, and you and I talked about that when we came out here in February. Take a look at USI take on Quincy.
Again, that was another nice day. Unbelievably warm. I think it was in the mid-60s that day.
3-2 pitch is high. Lets the first one go. Strouser on to the leadoff walk.
That's what you want. You want your leadoff man on base. Now let's see if he can't play havoc against the pitcher here, Beverick.
Jay Engelbrecht off to a slower start in the Quincy games. Has come on nice during the Southern swing. 404 the batting average for Engelbrecht. At bat number 48 for Jay.
Jason Engelbrecht.
Come on, Red, let's get one.
What a three-step lead for Strausser over at first. And Irons to follow Engelbrecht and Vavrick. First one sent foul out of play. Defensively for Lewis, Vavrick here on the hill. Bernhardt completes the battery. Ruck's over at first base. Grosvenot over at second. Parisi the shortstop. Rick Moss the third baseman. Janik, Gibbons, and Steer. That is left, center, and right field for the Flyers.
Be interesting to see whether Strausser can get another step off at first. Vavrick will probably have to throw over.
Strausser, a nice lead right now. Strausser 3 for 3 in the stolen base department. That one fouled away as well. 0-2 here to Engelbrecht.
Vavrick not paying a lot of attention to Strausser. I mean, he's checking on him, but you'd think that with that extra step he's getting, he would throw over.
Strike him out, throw him out. Let's go.
I'm talking to Ray Simmons earlier. Vavrick and Niemeyer have faced each other before. This is the first time they face each other, both having losing records. Vavrick at 0-1 and Niemeyer off to a 1-2 start. Takes the inside pitch out of play, and the count still remains 0-2 to Engelbrecht.
Well, it's early in the season, and I think that Niemeyer's gotten the nod in the rotation against some of the D1 schools that we've played, so it'll all even out as the season rolls along.
Redshirted a season ago, former standout also for American Legion Baseball's Newberg Kapperman.
Or maybe.
1992 state champions. And on the outside, 1-2 on a pitch out.
27 years
And
ago.
Strausser's one to watch.
And thought that he was going that time.
Strausser out a couple of times by 3.
I think there may have been one building.
1-2 strikes here to Engelbrecht. Irons on deck, Kruk. In the bottom half of the first inning, this one's scheduled for 7. And checking back, Barry Strausser.
Must really think that he was going to steal on the pitch before. Still had that on their mind that time with the throw over.
Is that right? Now she's
1-2 here to Engelbrecht.
Good
And
shot. There you
so
go.
down goes Engelbrecht. And one out here in the bottom half of the first inning.
Come on now, roll it
It's
for
not
him.
warm. It's just plain downright hot.
Next up for the Eagles, the designated hitter, number 20, Kevin Irons.
Kevin Irons on the year.
Come on, Mike. 6-4.
Very impressive for first year for Irons here with USI. Irons these days batting .353 at bat number 52 on the year. That of the DH Irons.
North when you retire. Well,
See if we can't take Beverick to right field and advance the runner to third on a hit.
yeah, foul for you.
Finding his location. Better stuff from Vavrick here than the opening couple to Strausser's. Found his location there on the outside corner for strike 1.
To me, they're mountains. Yeah.
Brock on deck and 0-1 here to Irons.
Throw a ground ball, Mike.
Well, Southern Indiana is real.
And for a second time, check back that of Barry Strausser. Take a look at some speed here. You lose some every year, of course, but USI, as you and I were talking earlier, driving up this afternoon, there's some speed here with this USI team.
Sure is. And, one factor I thought before the game, the wind was blowing in pretty steadily from left field. Now it's kind of curtailed, and the flag is set
Stay out
somewhat
there,
limp.
Mike. Stay out there.
Vavrick on the outside and 0-2 here to Irons. One down here in the bottom half of the
Come on,
first
Red.
inning.
Roll it for him.
Niemeyer faces 4 batters in the top of the first. Strausser out by 4 over at first base.
One you got, kid.
And Vavrick comes 0-2 on the outside. Waste 1-1-2 now from Vavrick.
Yeah, Bernard setting up on the outside just about on every pitch. Hook on Irons must be to pitch him out.
Irons played in 51 games a season ago for USI as the freshman, mostly in the DH role. 319, 36 RBIs last year. For that of Irons. Check back Strausser a third time.
Still 25. Who's the other fellow? Is he from
Somewhat of a moderate move on Vavrick.
Come on, Mike.
6 stolen bases also last year for Irons.
Who is he? And then that is.
Walked 19 times. Didn't strike out all that much.
Boy, that'll make it.
Had to hit and run on. Irons swung through it to protect the runner.
As long as they can't get through that.
1-2 strikes here to Irons. Jason Kruk on deck.
Go, Mike. Strike him out, throw him out.
Great couple of years he has had here, the former
Come
Central
on, Dan. Stay
standout.
up. Let's get them both.
I think it's been.
All right, Mike, go, babe.
And then you got Craig
Come on, Red.
Carpenter.
Rolling for him.
This is unusual, isn't it?
Carpenter expected to have a good year as well.
Yes and no.
1-2 strikes here to Irons.
Good a few of them. Oh, yeah. Fabulous winter this year.
Vavrick loses the first, strikes out Engelbrecht on the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to that of Irons.
like in the 40s. It's usually like 100 when it's freezing cold.
Strouser 21 stolen bases last year. And at 44 coming into the season. Out by 4 again over at first. He'll go hit and run on to center field. Coming on is Brian Gibbons, and he lost it. Down to second base, your play, and everybody is safe.
Well, they probably will score that an error on the center fielder. Had that within grasp, misjudged it.
Okay.
So Irons gets on the Gibbons error. And now you work yourself into the power part of your lineup in Jason Kroc. Well, Irons begins that with Strouser and Engelbrecht. The duty to get on. Irons now on. Here is Jason Kroc.
Number 26, Jason Kroc.
Oh, now.
Kroc numbers on the year 340 at bat number 51 this year for Jason.
No.
Well, this is where you want your power.
Come on, Red, roll it for him.
She's over here.
They follow that up with Carpenter. Carpenter at 333. He's had a pretty good southern swing himself. So 2 on and 1 away here.
Every home game.
And trying to go to Morisi.
We got nothing, Mike.
Only opportunity was maybe at first base, and everybody is safe again. So the bases loaded up for Carpenter as Kroc comes through with a single.
Infield hit. I think that's how they'll score that. You had your shortstop in position to turn the double play, and they sent the runner from second, which eliminated the throw to third. By the time the shortstop got the ball, there was no play at second, and there was no play
Come on,
at
Red,
first.
roll it for him.
Favorick's trouble with Strouser after he struck out Engelbrecht. Irons gets on, and the drop ball by Gibbons in center field. And now Kroc with a single loads him up here for Craig Carpenter. 333 now for Carpenter.
Looks good for the Eagles to come out of this inning with some runs.
Carpenter, a junior, 6'3", out of Bel Air, Maryland. JUCO All-American. And Harvard Community College at 409 last year in the JUCO ranks. So very impressive beginning for that of Carpenter. Right now he has the bases loaded.
Mike.
Watch the first batter and get some salt in trouble.
Hey, grab ball like that.
Home plate umpire calling strikes. It's just a little bit high, but that will probably be consistent throughout the game.
All right.
Nothing in 1 from Favorick, fouls that one back. So nothing in 2 here to Carpenter. Seidel on deck, the former standout for Terry Gobert over at Jasper. And then Sam Marks back at Evansville, now back with USI.
Don't even when they're saying ball and strike, it doesn't sound like either way.
Come on, Red. Make
Nothing in 2 here to Carpenter.
Let's go, Lewis!
Come on, Mike, let's go get him.
Go, Mike. On, Chris. On, Mike.
Base runners on a walk, a error, and an infield hit.
90 feet away, and here comes the first. Strouser in, 1-0 USI.
Well, let's score that a wild pitch.
On his back, and he couldn't move to get it.
Come on, Mike. Get us out of here.
Favorick's had some problems here. Talked about Strouser going to a groove with Engelbrecht. Pitched Irons very well before the drop ball. Now the wild pitch to Carpenter. Everybody moves up, 1 in.
The last 2 days.
And now second and third for USI on the open base down at first, and 1-2 here for that of Carpenter.
Is his name Bernard back there, Bernard? What? Bernard.
And 1-2 from Favorick, trying to get him on the outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Carpenter.
I think at this point they're going to pitch Carpenter very carefully, and if they walk him, so be it. Then that way they're in a position to turn a double play.
Favorick needs to get out of the inning.
Pardon me.
In the 2-2 pitch. Not a bad location again, but just missed with the last one, and now 3-2 here to Carpenter. It does not get any easier with Seidel and Marks to follow. Adler behind the plate this year. And then Corey Lamb rounding out the 9 for USI. It's 3-2 here from Favorick, and 1 in already for USI. 3-2 pitch. Tried to get him and just missed. Not bad location by Favorick. He's just missing, but the base is loaded again.
Favorick wasn't going to serve up any fat pitch on the 3-2 count. He was going to try and just skirt the corner, and if he walked in, they really don't lose anything. In fact, they pick up the availability of the double play.
So Strouser in on the wild pitch.
Okay, Mike!
Irons now down to third base. Carpenter at first, in between Jason Kroc down at second base. Here is Ryan Seidel. Has some great years with that of Terry Gobert over at Jasper High School. And Seidel takes a look at the first for strike 1.
Looks like USI is going to lay off the first pitch.
Seidel batting .304 here, coming into game number 15 for USI. Again, the Eagles in at 10-4. 2 of the 4 losses to D1 Tennessee Martin and that of IU. They lost 1 game to Quincy. And lost one on the southern swing as well.
Favorite really struggling right now. Close to the plate, but just a half-inch off here, half-inch off there.
1 ball and 1 strike here to Seidel. Tonight in right field, fouls that one back for a 1-2 count.
Hey, come on, Mike.
Seidel starting slowly last year, really came on strong towards the end, finished 256 a season ago, 4 home runs, named to the GLVC All-Tournament team 1 year ago, 22 RBIs last year for that of Ryan Seidel. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Ryan, and the bases loaded again with Eagles. Where he missed a couple his last batter, that one a little bit more on the outside for a 2-2 count.
Hey, Mike.
Well hit ball that drops in should score 2 runs here.
256 a season ago, 273 batted in 93, 313 his first year, batting 272 in 3 years here with USI. That one out of play. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I lose it. Well, if you don't want to get hit on the head, you better.
Tell me, Siles also was not a bad football player over at Jasper High School.
That was a little league. That was bad enough. My own kid did it.
They do it all over there. Football, basketball, and baseball.
Like a modern day here, and Jasper not the size of a modern day, but a lot of 3-sport athletes. Center field, and he drops another one. That's the second Gibbons drops. 2 more will score for USI, and USI is up by a score. Up 2-0.
Oh, Gibbons is having a rough start here. 2 well-hit balls that should have been caught.
I don't know.
So Irons in, Kroc now 90 feet away. In 2 in on the same result. One a wild pitch, another one dropped by Gibbons. And so not the best for the Lewis defense here in the top half of the the bottom half of the first inning. Irons reaches the 8.
That last run was not an earned run.
Next up for the Eagles, the left fielder, number 24, Sam Marks.
So here's Sam Marks, another former modern day standout. Junior college, John A. Logan last year, 286, 24 runs batted in. And what a great addition Sam Marks is to USI. A lot of local flavor here, and good local flavor. 2-0 Southern Indiana.
That's when it really hit.
Third time, bases loaded in. That one missing on the outside. A bit high there from Vavrick.
These kids,
And the count 1-0.
they can be old.
USI has not scored their runs in a real pretty fashion, but they still count.
Irons in on the air. Twice there by Gibbons. He was the first one to hit it to Gibbons, and Gibbons dropped that one. Coming back on a 1-1 count here is Sam Marks.
Come on, Mike.
Come on, Mike.
Third baseman.
I have a feeling the true test of these 2 teams is going to come in the bottom half of the lineup. See how that pans out.
Both teams very strong all the way down. There's not really a weak link in the Lewis lineup as well. And that's just tradition with Irish O'Reilly. He's been there a long time, has had a lot of success here with the Lewis Flyers. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Sam Marks. And again, the bases loaded with Eagles and 2 already in.
Blue jeans sitting on it.
Last pitch was the first off-speed pitch.
Darrell Adler on deck. Follow up Mater Day with a Mater Day, and then a rights product in Corey Land will round out the 9. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Sam Marks. 90 feet away is Kroc.
I did too.
Well, Vavrick has been in the count on every batter so far, except for the 1 walk.
And when he's missed, he's not missed by much. The 2 drop balls by Gibbons hurts, and the wild pitch is 1 of your 2 runs already in. Count holds up at 2-2 here to Marks.
Come on, Mike.
You know what? He's just too of
See, he's put on about 25, 30 pounds when he first got playing.
Adler on deck, and again Lamb to round out the 9.
Works out all year long.
2-2 from Vavrick, and this is high on the outside again in 3-2. And he's throwing a lot here in the first inning, which is not good either on a long weekend.
May have to go to a long reliever after 2 or 3
Come on,
innings.
Mike.
Lewis gets Wesley in tomorrow
Come on, man.
for 2 over there. Everybody playing 4, opening up conference play this weekend. St. Joe in here tomorrow. They're at Wesleyan today. 3-2 here to Sam Marks. Really can't afford to walk him either. That's down low and walk in one. So 2 in on errors. And this one walked in as Kroc comes across. It is 3-0 USI.
That's the third walk of the game for Babrick. Walk Strouser, Carpenter, and now Mark.
It's kind of funny to say it. He's not pitching that bad. You take a look at the errors, the wild pitch. His location is not bad right now, Warren. He's just not in a groove, to say the least.
Again, it loads the bases and allows them to turn the double play.
Darrell Adler. Adler coming in 143 at bat number 22 for Adler this year. Academic All GLVC a season ago. Played behind Kevin Brown last year. 23 games last year. Started 18. 259 a season ago for Adler.
Oh, there it is. We're still in the first. Right.
0-2 is
I wish I could wear my glasses.
Maverick tries to get back. Bases loaded again and 3 in for USI here in the bottom half of the first inning. 0-2 pitch, got him. It's been tough, but that's just the second out for Lewis. 2 down, the bases still loaded. And batter number 9, here comes Corey Lamb.
And both outs on strikeouts. Engelbrecht and Adler.
Okay, Mike.
Lamb 267 a year ago, played in 52 games and started 51 of those. Had a great freshman campaign where he batted .336. Numbers on Lamb coming in. Lamb right now at a healthy .351 at bat number 38 this year for Corey.
Oh, Corey.
351 in the number 9 position. That's real interesting.
Breeze Ben, bottom part of the lineup. Table sitter, if you will. Strouser on deck. Tries to move everybody up. Nice bunt there by Lamb. Try to score another. That one works. So another in for USI as in comes Carpenter, and the Eagles up 4-0 on Lewis University.
Nope, you sure don't.
Couldn't ask for a better start. They are just peppering Lewis.
Oh, that's right.
USI left out of the last poll. How do you figure a team that's 10-4 has beaten everybody that played Division II but 2 teams and left out?
Trying to figure out polls. USI starts basketball-wise number 1 in the nation and drops completely out of the top 20 and then comes back in.
I think you put it best when it's probably time to start trying to figure out polls. Try to figure out Division I basketball. You and I were talking about that this morning on Sports Talk, and a lot of upsets there in the opening rounds.
Well, Babrick is pitching right up around 86 to 89 miles an hour consistently. Got that on the radar gun.
And he's not done that bad for being behind 4-0 with the bases loaded. A couple of walks, a wild pitch. The 2 errors really hurt you. They should have been out of the inning a couple of minutes ago.
Infield hit with the second baseman out of position for the double play, and now the bunt, which they did not expect.
10th batter of the inning here. Strouser walks to begin it. 4 in for USI in the bottom half of the first inning. And the bases loaded again. And what is a high sky out of play? 0-2.
You're brave. You don't even look up when those go up, huh?
We're safe. Never been hit once out here, Warren. Not once.
That means that every game that you come to, the chances are getting better and better.
A lot of averages you talk about.
Have you?
0-2 here to Strouser. And a bit high, waist one high, and a 1-2 count. And Maverick just needs to get out of the inning.
The only thing we're missing right now is leaves on the trees.
Can't have everything. Upper 60s, lower 70s. 1-2 pitch to Strouser and into right field. Steer coming on, holds on. That's not Gibbons, that's Steer. And a tough inning for Lewis here in the bottom half of the first inning. USI will lead 3, score 4. And after 1 inning of play, USI up on top of Lewis by a score of 4-0. On this Saturday night, you're watching the season premiere of USI Baseball on TV 52.
Suffering from aches and pains? Make MedFirst your first choice. With over 100 years combined experience in spinal rehabilitation and pain management, your relief is our first concern. MedFirst, make us your first choice. For first-rate care, make MedFirst your first choice. Qualified orthopedic physicians, general practitioners, and state-of-the-art methods combined to give you the best, well-rounded care, including school and sports physicals. Open 6 days a week. MedFirst, make us your first choice.
and Berger, making a world of difference in personal injury law.
Leading off the second inning for the Flyers.
Mike Marisi, Ron Janik, and Dave Bernhardt. That is 5, 6, 7 here for the Lewis Flyers. Top half of the second inning alongside Warren Disler. I'm Darren Smith. USI Baseball makes its television debut here tonight. On the air tomorrow night as well, following the Bruce Pearl Show tomorrow night at 10:30. 11 o'clock first pitch tomorrow night. USI and St. Joe. Game one of a long weekend for the Eagles. They begin GLBC conference play. 4 in the bottom half of the first inning. The Eagles up by a score of 4-0.
Well, Niemeyer only faced 4 batters in the first inning, while Bavarick faced 10. So that could come into play here.
Mike Marisi, numbers on the year, 375. At bat number 49 of the year for Marisi.
Kevin Brown was the captain.
1 ball and 1 strike.
And he got
trying to get on the outside and just missing on the outside for a 2-1 count.
Kevin Brown. I'm so sorry that's not going on. I love baseball.
Niemeyer strikes out Schuster. Moss got the single. And both Brooks and Gibbons go down 4-3 to end the top half of the first inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes here from Todd Niemeyer to Mike Marisi.
Still go with the Cardinals.
I don't know what happened to Gibbons. I don't think you can blame it on the wind.
Oh, to the stadium. It's only about 2.5 hours.
Naperville, Illinois, late of Mike Marisi in his junior year. Was about $190, 6 foot tall. Janik on deck. And now 3-2 by Niemeyer. Didn't throw a lot back in the first inning, and this one taken left field. Mark's going to back up. It'll be over his head and off the wall.
Ground rule double. And that ball, did you see how that ball curved off to the left after it was hit? No way that could have been chased down.
We're talking about USI and their 4, 5, 6 batters can be considered just as dangerous as your top or bottom. Lewis is the same deal. There's not a weak link in their 9, and I think you will see that here tonight. Marisi on with nobody out. Here's Ron Janik, another good one.
Come on.
I would imagine with their wealth of talent that the batting order is probably established on speed and your availability to be able to spread the ball around the field.
Yes, ma'am.
That type of scenario.
Janik coming in 340 at bat number 48 for Janik this year. And take a look at Marisi. Marisi is 2 of 3 in the stolen base department, but he's got a nice comfortable lead down at second base. So ground rule double.
Every one of his neighbors.
As Lewis trying to get back at least some of the 4 they gave up in the bottom half of the first inning.
And
well, Niemeyer has something to worry about now.
he went from my brother's house when they played in St. Louis to Kansas City and then back to St. Louis.
Swing and a miss by Janik. As the count, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Everybody in my family, we cried movies, pledged to the
Sure, it's an
flag.
interesting transition for Niemeyer from high school to college, where he was an intricate part of the team, batting and playing several different positions along with pitching. Now he's just a pitcher.
That's for sure.
Remember, Niemeyer was also a pretty good basketball player over at Mater Dei as well.
Right.
Come on now. Give
2
it
balls
a
and a strike here to Janik. Ground rule double begins the top half of this second inning, but the Eagles up 4-0. Bernhardt on deck. Grosrenaud, Steer round out the 9.
I made you go see it, too. You didn't want
4-step lead down at second for Marisi.
ready.
And the 2-1 pitch right back to Niemeyer. Takes a look back, and they've got Marisi, hung up. They should get Marisi, get the lead, and there's 1 away. That couldn't have worked any better for Niemeyer. Marisi already committed himself at the crack of the bat, was dead between second and third.
They got him on the unassisted putout, but there was no throw on the rundown whatsoever, which is
All right, hit it hard. Let's go.
So down goes Marisi, and now you got 1 at first base, and a double play ball gets you out of it.
Dave Bernhardt.
That's got to be
David,
one of
hit
the
it
toughest
hard.
plays in baseball. The pitcher has to have the reaction of a cat in order to spin around. In his favor, he's a left-handed pitcher, so his glove hand was
David,
on the
hit
right
it hard.
side where the ball was hit.
Tough start for Bernhardt. 179 coming in at bat number 40 for Bernhardt. So numbers he's more capable of. Nothing in 1 here to Bernhardt. 1 down, top half of the second inning.
Baseball set up in this area with all these little kids coming up in rank, and then that Legion ball.
Attaboy, David.
Bernhardt, the former D1 player over at Southern Illinois. And again, his numbers will come around as well.
But most of these kids
Right now, just a 179 start for Bernhardt. Down at first is Janik on the fielder's choice. They'll check Janik back.
never did.
Janik 4 of 5 in stolen bases this year for Lewis.
Rob Mauer.
Come on, Dave, hit it hard.
They seem to have a lot of team speed.
1-1 pitch. Got him down low and a 1-2 count. Niemeyer strikes out the first. Moss on a single, and then Lamb helps retire the last two in the first inning. Ground rule double. Marisi caught up between second and third, and Janik over at first base on the fielder's choice. And now 1-2 here to that of Bernhardt.
Speed is a major determining factor on going from high school baseball up to the college level. They time you, and when they send out their letters, and they recruit on speed, because you have a wealth of great hitters in high school. If you're going to make it to the college level, you also have to have the speed.
The two kids from Zayden.
1-2 pitch. Fouls that one away. Keep the count 1-2. USI into St. Joe tomorrow. First pitch 12 noon. You'll see game one of that again tomorrow night right here.
Dick Vitale and Digger.
If the Eagles can take, and then maybe asking a lot against the competition coming in, but if the Eagles can take 3 or 4 of these, they'd be sitting in pretty good shape by the top of the season. 10-4 coming in.
I wouldn't let him be.
13-5 start would not be too shabby.
You'd let him play, though.
It would be a whole lot better to lead the conference and jump out to a good start than to try and come back from mid-season.
Right out, David.
USI, of course, eligible to host the conference tournament.
I think it hit the little house. Oh,
and that is coming up actually about a month's time, a little bit more than a month's time. Conference tournament, and they'll play a couple of more games. USI also has a game at Bosse Field this year on May 5th on a Friday night.
Come on, David.
1 ball and 2 strikes, and 1 down here in the second. And a high sky Seidel in right field. And 2 away.
Okay, Chris.
Come on, Chris.
Brings up Chris Grosrenaud, second baseman tonight. Grosrenaud at 273. And now bat number 34 in the year for Grosrenaud.
It's nice that the visiting team has their names on the back for us. His name almost too long to fit across his shoulders.
He's going to get him to do it in basketball. It'll be easier.
Well, Kentucky State did. That was the only team.
Yeah, they did. You're right. In the GLVC, yep.
Could have used that in soccer for Alabama A&M.
Yeah, certainly could have. Actually, I don't think it would have helped.
They're all in a foreign language.
A lot of excitement going on to behind us in the soccer field. USI goes back to Division II next year to be considered a serious D2 contender. As well as these guys, USI trying to make the postseason tournament again. And for a 3rd straight year with Mike Gady.
Come on, Chris.
It's nice the team got to make that southern swing. That's a nice recruiting environment.
Also, it prepares you as well. And that one stopped by Carpenter. Nice play by Carpenter. Try to hold on. No. Pulled Croc off. Carpenter did a nice job at getting that one. But a routine single anyway. Carpenter does a nice job, but just pulled Croc off the bag. So it's 1st and 2nd here for the Flyers.
Go, Kevin.
Looked like Croc might have gotten his right foot back there on the stretch, but I don't think it was in time.
So Bernhardt on.
Like this, the car was.
As Janik goes down to 2nd, or rather Grosrenaud on.
Way down there, right?
As Janik goes down to 2nd.
Right fielder, number 26, Kevin Steer.
Here's Kevin Steer. First time through the Lewis 9. And Schuster on deck with 2 away. And strike 1 here to Steer. Steer 333 coming in at bat number 28 for Steer.
Back, Kev.
0-1 pitch. Back out of play, and Niemeyer well ahead, 0-2.
Seems to be a favorite direction of fouling pitches off.
Steer playing some JUCO ball over at Olney Central. Out of Wisconsin, Clinton, Wisconsin, here in Steer.
How you doing? How are you? Good.
First time through the Lewis 9, and Niemeyer strikes out the first of the order and the 9th. Eagles will take a 4-0 lead into the top half of the bottom half of the 2nd inning. On USI's season debut on TV 52, USI baseball continues after this timeout.
Since 1913, our family helping your family with purchasing a home. Since 1913, Helfrich Insurance has been the independent agent for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. For a fast comparison quote, call the Helfrich Agency today. Good protection and prompt claim service. Helfrich Insurance, coverage you need at a price you can afford.
Anyone who has been seriously injured in an accident should consult with at least 2 or 3 attorneys before selecting one for representation. Be sure you have confidence and trust in the attorney you select, because with a serious injury, it may very well be the most important decision you'll ever make. For a free consultation, call us at Robert John & Associates, where if there is no recovery, there is no fee. 425-2718.
I'm Darren Smith alongside Warren Disson. Welcome you back to USI Baseball here on a Saturday night. Bottom half of the second inning as Fabric faced 10 batters back in the first. Engelbrecht, Irons, and Jason Kroc. It's 2-3-4 here for USI.
Engelbrecht struck out in the first inning.
Takes the first one out of play for strike one. I think I said Gady was in his third year, in his second year, taking over for Gary Redmond a couple of seasons ago, or last season. And trying for a second straight year for himself to take this team to a postseason tournament.
Taking his job during the basketball season is preparing the pack for the basketball games.
Yeah, several duties, but his best is definitely apparent right here. He's really done a good job by getting the local kids back here in Evansville. I talked about Marks coming back. And it's always good to see a lot of local players. It's even better to see these local players do as well as they're doing here. Right from the outset, a 10-4 start for USI. And right now, 4-0 up on number 12 in the country, Lewis.
I think a lot of the coaches have secondary duties. I know Chancellor Dugan is an assistant athletic director, and Bruce Pearl is the in charge of soliciting funds.
Bernhard, all his, one away. So one down here in the bottom half of the second inning. Brings up Kevin Irons. And Irons win all the...
Next up for the Eagles.
I guess bad things start happening to Lewis. He gets on E8 as Gibbons dropped it back in the first inning. He would later walk Carpenter. Seidel, the same deal. Then he would walk Marks.
Irons scored on the air on the Seidel hit to center field.
Basically, here's where it began. I mean, he walked Strausser, who came on to score, but it really began his downfall in the first inning right here with Irons.
I know I will.
Strike one here to Kevin. Kevin again coming in at 3:53.
It's muddy.
And Kroc on deck. Takes 2 out of play, 0-2.
Wind picking up, blowing from left center field in.
Oh, gosh. This doesn't happen.
Eagles bring 4 across back in the first inning. Irons one of those. Again reaching on E8 and then came across again on E8. Another one out of play and keep the count 0-2.
I think he said out.
Shading Irons just a bit to right field.
What, the poor old umpire?
Even though he's a right-handed hitter.
Irons, former standout, Fort Wayne Carroll. I think I told you last year, he's also a hockey player, where they do play hockey in Fort Wayne.
It's a northern thing.
Yeah, that it is. 0-2 on the inside. 1-2 here to Irons.
That's why professional hockey never made it in Atlanta.
It did for a while, just, I guess, kind of petered out, if you will.
I got it. You got it.
Maverick, and there's 2 away. So one of the catcher, one of the pitcher has the first 2 down here in the bottom half of the second inning. Brings up Jason Kroc.
Yes, I've got it. You get it. Nobody.
Next up for the Eagles.
Kroc, who singles back in the first inning, also comes around 1-4 to score.
Oh, first base.
Maverick having a much easier inning here in the second.
Taking the balls.
Yeah, just getting that second out was a problem. He went through, after getting Engelbrecht, he went through Irons, Kroc, Carpenter, Seidel, and Marks before getting Adler looking.
That has to be Irene.
2 strikeouts now and 12 batters.
The entire room is and it's a print. Oh, yeah.
Kroc again at 340. And the game number 15 this year for the Eagles. 2-0 here to Jason.
Not that I don't. No, I know, but again,
What makes even Strausser, or rather Kroc, more dangerous is when he's ahead 3-0. Give him a green light right now.
See if he takes.
First signs of struggling here in the second. And 4 straight balls here to Jason, who's on for a second time.
He got on in the first on an infield hit to the shortstop.
Next up for the Eagles, the third baseman, number 32, Craig Carpenter.
Carpenter walks back in the first inning.
He scored on the bunt.
Again, 1 of 4 to come in back in the first. So with 2 down here, and the 2-out walk issued to Kroc, coming back now to 4 straight balls. Vavrick with strike 1.
Now he's got 8 right now. 13 right there.
Seidel on deck. He reaches E8 back in the first. And down to third. Rick Moss for the easy 5-3. So a much easier inning for Lewis. Nothing across that time as the Eagles will leave 1. After 2 innings of play, USI up by a score of 4-0. You're watching USI baseball right here on TV 52.
You know, golf's a great game and affordable at Harpo's Custom Golf. They've got clubs of every shape and size and the ability to custom fit your club. Harpo's has new clubs comparable to name brands at a fraction of the price. When it comes to club repairs, from regripping to a new shaft, Harpo's Custom Golf has the lowest prices in town. See for yourself how affordable golf can be at Harpo's Custom Golf.
For years, you've depended on State Farm to insure your home. Daddy! But did you know you can also depend on us to provide financial security for those you love? State Farm. We sell life insurance.
Top half of the third inning, I'm Duran Smith alongside Warren Disser. Welcome you to our season premiere of USI Baseball here on TV 52. And like the players, it also takes, I think it takes announcers a game or so to get in the groove of baseball after doing 40 basketball games this winter. And thankfully so. It will continue on Wednesday, but it takes a while to get in the groove of baseball, Warren.
It does. We headed to the third inning. Schuster at bat. We've now batted around the order. He's the leadoff hitter. Struck out in the first inning.
Niemeyer faces 4 batters in the first, 5 back in the last inning. Knocking across in 2 innings here for the Flyers. Nothing in 1 here to Scott Schuster in the DH role tonight. Again caught looking back in the first inning.
Hey, Scott. Are you near Bradley? Bradley? Yeah. He's at Bradley Bridge.
Great concession stand here, by the way, for you fans that haven't been out here.
I think we mention that every year, don't we? Does it keep getting better? I think you've had too much concession stand, Warren. Definitely in the off season, huh? When's that diet start?
After basketball.
So after next Saturday, after we win the national championship next Saturday, your diet starts, huh? Down goes Schuster. 1 away here in the top half of the third inning.
Goose eggs for their leadoff hitter.
That time didn't get caught looking. 2 Ks for Schuster. That's the third on the day for Niemeyer.
Third baseman, number 40, Rick Moss.
And that is strikeout number 20 on the year for Nemo. Rick Moss singles back in the first inning.
Yeah, hit one to left field. Left-handed hitter, so he got that one off to the opposite side.
Moss off to a tremendous start. Leads this team in at-bats. This is number 62 on the year for Moss, at a very impressive 417 for Moss. And again, going against, after games against D1 pitching, have done very well against the D1 ranks at 7-6. They've had quite a beat Detroit Mercy. They lost to Providence College, but they beat Princeton, coming off a win over Princeton a couple of days ago. They would lose to Florida Atlantic, another D1 school, 16-15. They were in that pitcher's duel. Lost to Villanova twice. They beat Boston University 6-5. So they have fared quite well against the competition they have taken about. Right now they're down 4-0 to USI, and a count 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Rick Moss.
Moss, the only left-handed hitter in the lineup today, facing Niemeyer, the left-handed pitcher.
2-2 pitch, taken out of third. Carpenter charging. Carpenter, who got a nice one earlier, gets him in time.
Wow, and that guy did the splits.
Nice play by Carpenter. I think Eagles fans, if they haven't found it out already, they're really going to like this kid in the hot corner this year, and Craig Carpenter.
I'll also give a nice assist to Kruk on the stretch.
Well, Carpenter got to one earlier very nicely. And just missed Croc over at first base. So nice play by Carpenter with 2 down here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Here is Kurt Brooks, who went down 4-3. Lamb to Croc back in the 1st inning.
Brooks spelled B-R-U-K-S-C-H. Figure that one out.
You're gonna write it phonetically though. 1-0 pitch. Trying to come down to the outside, and I was gonna say it looked like it didn't miss by much. It got there. 1 ball and 1 strike here from Nemo. Too quickly away here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Nice stuff from Niemeyer again, looking for strikeout number 4 on the day.
Right back at him, Kurt. Come on now.
Niemeyer seems to be getting stronger as the game progresses.
Trying to sit him down in order a first time. Schuster goes out a 2nd time on the K. Didn't miss by much on the last. Moss moments ago 5-3.
Niemeyer thought he had him on that. Didn't get the call.
There's no competition between
2-2. Would be strikeout number 21 on the year. And taking to center field. A 2-hopper to Jay Engelbrecht in center field. And so not a perfect inning yet. He'll at least face forward. Gibbons coming up, and Brooks is on a first time today.
Come on, Brian.
Next
up for the Flyers, the center fielder, number 35, Brian Gibbons.
You can only contain the top of the order for so long. Had success with it last time. Only Moss reaching. And again, Brooks on a first time today. Gibbons steps up here in the cleanup. Also down Lamb to Croc to end the 1st inning.
Brooks grounded to the 2nd baseman. His only at bat.
My car is gone.
Gibbons batting again, 264. And that bat number now 55 on the year for Gibbons. Tough first inning defensively for Gibbons. He's dropped 2 in center field.
He may try to get it back there with his bat. Perfect opportunity for him to make up for the 2 errors.
So you're going to take a look at Gibbons. Gibbons for the year's over is going to be a 300 hitter.
You can hear the balls banging windows in the cars every night that they were home.
Gibbons closing in on that now.
Come on, Brian.
Early 0 for 1 against Todd Niemeyer. 1 over at first. Out by 3 is Brooks. Try to get him on the inside.
Some kind of a minor league team.
2 balls and a strike here to Brian Gibbons with Marisi on deck, so it does not get any easier. Ground rule double for Marisi to begin the 2nd inning, and again, he is on deck. A 2 down on Nemo's side. Eagles up 4-0, and check him back over at first base.
Brooks on the last pitch to Gibbons showed like he was going to go.
It might be the Otters, this, that, and the other. And then they had a contest, and they still named it the Otters. Do you remember being at
2 balls and 1 strike.
I don't think it's connected.
And strike 2 here to Gibbons. Again, looking for strikeout number 4 is Niemeyer. And Niemeyer's pitched very strong through 3 innings.
Got him down in the count. Hasn't pitched to waste right here. May just try and touch the quarter. Low and away.
Minnesota was the first one, and they had a contest.
2-2 with 2 down here in the top of the 3rd, scheduled for 7. The Eagles up 4-0 on number 12, Lewis University. And the 2-2 pitch, got him. Number 4 for strikeouts for Todd Niemeyer today. That's number 21 on the year. And the Eagles, after 2.5, take a 4-0 lead in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. After 2.5, Eagles 4, Lewis 0. USI Baseball on TV 52.
There's a spirit and philosophy that guides our business. It's called service. It's before the sale, it's after. And it's been going on since 1962. James Will Insurance. Why do so many businesses and individuals trust us and recommend us? Their insurance programs provide more for less. Do yours? James Will Insurance.
If you're looking for the right place to gather with friends or a night out with the family, then either of the 2 Taroni's locations will make your evening. Taroni's Forget-Me-Not of Weinbach and Division or Taroni's Pizzeria at 408 North Main. You'll enjoy a unique atmosphere at either location, which includes dining on the glassed-in porch at Taroni's Forget-Me-Not. If you want to enjoy your pizza at home or at work, call ahead and take advantage of the drive-thru at the Weinbach location or the carry-out at North Main, where you'll also find fresh baked bread and cookies to take home. Visit Taroni's the next time you eat out. Both locations open at 11 a.m. daily.
When he was in Indiana, he was on...
I'm Darren Smith alongside Warren Distro. We thank you for staying up tonight for the season premiere of USI Baseball. After a great winter of basketball, and it will continue on Wednesday night at 10:30 from Louisville. Beginning of the USI Baseball season. Actually, not the beginning. Eagles come in tonight at 10-4, but open up conference play tonight against conference foe Lewis University. 4-0 Eagles. Bottom half of the 3rd inning, Ryan Seidel reaches E8 back in the 1st inning.
I don't know where.
Takes this one back and out of play for a 1-1 count. Seidel, second team All-State, while at Jasper. Back in 91.
Come on, Michael.
Came on very strong here at USI, as I said. First year batted .313. First one taken for the first out here at the bottom half of the third inning. And that brings up Sam Marks,
Next up for the Eagles,
who walked back in the first.
24, Sam Marks.
I told you earlier, 286 last year with John A. Logan. And was chosen to play in the All-Star game there in the Region 24.
Member of the famous Marks family, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Of course, Tim has done very well.
He's over on the East Coast.
Must be the barbecue.
Whatever works, huh? That is good stuff, though.
Twice about that. What you do, you might get everybody right here.
Nothing in one here to Marks. Adler follows. Lamb to round down the 9 a second time. Eagles up 4-0. One out here in the bottom half of the third inning.
On the Seatown, I'll have to tell him I saw Sam.
Good inside letter high. And the count 1-1.
Got these glasses early.
Averick didn't have to work quite as hard in the second as he did in the first.
Just facing... Didn't face many, did he? Just facing 4 batters back in the second, after facing 10 back in the first. 1-2 here to Sam Marks.
Has thrown a whole lot more pitches than Niemeyer, though.
That one just over his head. That may sneak through. Nice try by Grosrenaud, but Marks is on with a single.
Thank you. Big boy.
It's all it takes is just to get a runner on. USI is the type of team that will do everything it can to advance those runners. We've seen 2 bunts in the game already.
You won't be staying overnight.
Next up for the Eagles, the catcher,
So
number
1 out, 1
Darryl
on.
Adler.
There's Darryl Adler, got caught looking back in the first inning. Corey Lamb again to round down the 9 a second time. 17th batter faced here by Vavrick.
Yes. Oh, I'll be darned.
You know where that is from here?
Marks out by 4 over at first. And trying to move him up. Adler may get on himself. Play over at first base. Move the runner up to second base. Not a bad job of hitting by Adler. And Marks down scoring position down at second base.
Scored as a sacrifice for Darryl Adler. Now we've got a runner in scoring position.
And I don't know, it's
and Marks will add some speed already to a speedy lineup for USI. Brings up Corey Lamb.
Eagles, the second baseman, number 8, Corey Lamb.
Lamb, who had perhaps the best bunt so far on the day. He better turn that into a single back in the first inning when he faced 10 batters, but now 2 away and down at second.
Yeah, all the way to 231.
Is that a Sam Marks?
Which is about, we're on 60 East. Oh yeah, east.
And that one fouled back for strike 1. You talk about the
Write it for you.
local lineup, so to speak. Engelbrecht out of Harrison.
I don't know where they...
Seidel out of Jasper. Marks out of Mater Dei along with Adler. Corey Lamb out of Wrights. Jason Kroc out of Central. And that's in today's starting 9. There's a lot more here.
24-15. There's a lot of smoke out on the field there. It's just blown away from one of the grills. Got some tailgate parties going out beyond the left field fence.
You said this is just perfect baseball weather for, I guess it's typically heading down the stretch of March, but consider it still mid-March.
What better way to spend a Saturday afternoon? Bring the pickup, bring the grill.
Well, I mean, this here, when you
they don't charge to get in here either.
Keep going all the way through Evansville, Newburgh.
1 ball and 2 strikes here to Corey Lamb.
This is west that we were coming. Yeah, so you go east.
Marks out by a couple down at second, but 2 down here in the USI third. Scheduled for 7, Eagles up 4-0.
See, I don't know.
And down to Marisi at short. And he's retired. First time today, 6-3. So through the 9 twice, Eagles still up 4-0. We have played 3 at USI on Saturday night. You're watching USI baseball only on TV 52.
You can be sure you're getting the lowest prices on tires at Raven with our double the difference price guarantee.
Raven Tire will give you double the difference back.
That's right. Raven Tire will give you double the difference back if within 30 days you find a lower advertised price on the same tire.
Yeah, you stand a better chance of getting struck by lightning. The Tri-State Rise on Raven Tire.
Oh no, Gucci Goo for the 8th time. Come on guys, get serious. Plans. college, career.
Cool it, kiddo. They have Old National helping you with a wide range of investment options and professional advice, so your college is set. Shows you what 160 years of experience can do.
College is set?
Hey, kid, life can be fun at your bank for life, Old National.
I'm so happy, I could cry.
Top half of the fourth inning alongside Warren Dissel. I'm Darren Smith. USI up by a score of 4-0, and the first game of a four-game homestand this weekend for USI. St. Joe in tomorrow. This is the first of two against Lewis. And we'll watch it back on this Saturday night.
Niemeyer now faces Mike Marisi, who got on a ground rule double and was thrown out on that rundown.
Marisi, Janik, and Bernhardt as it was back in the second inning. Niemeyer faces four batters back an inning ago, has four strikeouts, getting Schuster twice, once looking. Gibbons to end the third, and between times Steer back in the second inning. Down low for a 1-1 count from Niemeyer.
Right turn only. Yeah, about 9 miles and turn right again. Yeah, cross the bridge, turn right.
Missing that one down low. Niemeyer needs just 51 innings to become USI's all-time leader. And Niemeyer coming into today 23 innings pitched, now in his 27th. So closing in on that, should have it within the next couple of weeks. Down to Corey Lamb to Cronk. Lights to Central. That works, one away.
Great way to start the inning off. USI really playing great
Next up for the
baseball.
Flyers, the left fielder, number 4, Ron
Well, I think this team's going to make some noise, as they already have. You take a look at a 10-4 start, and there's going to be a lot of talk, I think, as there is right now with the basketball team for the third straight year. It will continue here in baseball as well. Look for this team in a tough conference to make the tournament again, and that's not an easy thing to do, particularly coming out with teams like Lewis in your conference has had all kinds of success. Two away, Lamb to Kruk second time, and quickly there's two away.
Lamb's got great range, as we saw right there.
Lamb is a great defensive player. Now, I mentioned this when he played over at Wrights High School. Was a great pickup for USI years ago. Not only does he have a good bat, but a great defensive player. Did it for Steve Johnson for a while, and has really added a lot here in the Eagle Nine.
There were a lot of Lambs that went to Bosse High School, and I think several of the brothers over there played baseball. I wonder if he's related to those Lambs. It's really a small town when you get right down to it.
Lamb hitting 289 his senior year with Johnson.
Look at all the Cheneys that we've come up against. All related.
Here we go, come on, Dave. We'll see leadership. Here we go, 2-2. We'll see your leadership. Here we go.
0-2, and Niemeyer trying to sit him down in order. One that got away. 1-2 here from Todd Niemeyer.
Well, how will Wrights look this year without Roger Getty?
I think Wrights is going to be tough. I talked to Steve Johnston a couple of weeks ago. I think they're at the middle of the pack, and what's going to be a very balanced year, I think, in the SIAC. I was asked this morning who I thought might be a favorite or a co-favorite. I think you can look at Central, definitely. Getting Tosser and Tackett, two of the best players in the SIAC. I think Central will be strong. Memorial, as always, more than have the best regular season, but they did, of course, win the sectional, so they're always going to be tough as well. It'll be a very balanced year. That time he got him looking. Strikeout number 5 for Niemeyer, and this time he sits them down in order. 3.5 in the book. Eagles up 4-0 on our season debut of USI Baseball. It continues tonight right here on TV 52.
Robert John & Associates has recently moved to a new location for the convenience of our clients. We now offer adequate free parking and are located just 1 block off the Lloyd Expressway and 3 blocks from the Civic Center. Our building is fully and easily accessible to the handicapped. If you have been injured, call us at Robert John & Associates for a free consultation. Robert John & Associates, no recovery, no fee, 812-425-2718.
Suffering from aches and pains? Make MedFirst your first choice. With over 100 years combined experience in spinal rehabilitation and pain management, your relief is our first concern. MedFirst, make us your first choice. For first-rate care, make MedFirst your first choice. Qualified orthopedic physicians, general practitioners, and state-of-the-art methods combined to give you the best, well-rounded care, including school and sports physicals. Open 6 days a week. MedFirst, make us your first choice.
Coming up on on Wednesday night, we will be in Louisville to bring you tape-delayed coverage of USI and New Hampshire. NCAA not allowing live coverage of this year's Elite Eight from Louisville because we are in a 500-mile radius, but you will see that game. If you can't be there, be here. Wednesday night at 10:30, and USI taking on New Hampshire, 3 games to go to the national championship. On this night, your first look at USI baseball on TV 52. Right now, over Lewis by a score of 4-0. Those coming in the first, bottom half of the 4th inning. Top of the order in Barry Strouser.
Strouser had 2 at-bats in the first inning, did not bat in the second or third, so it's because we batted it around in our first at-bat.
10 batters faced by Maverick, and 4 come across. So struggling early, only faced 4 in the last 2 innings, 4 in the second and the third.
Strouser with a walk and a fly out to right field, scored on a wild pitch. Funny game that we got off to such a great start, batted around, then things have slowed down since then.
1-2 here to Strouser. Engelbrecht irons. Top 3 batters here in the bottom half of the 4th inning on what is a high sky and foul territory. Brooks and a couple going over. Finally to make the play, we have one away in foul grounds.
Second baseman came over and got that, didn't he?
Yeah, Grosvenot. Brooks was there. Steer coming in from right. Brings up Jay Engelbrecht 0 for 2 to start the day. Struck out back in the first. Back to the catcher in Bernhardt in the second. Engelbrecht, I think, is going to add a lot also. Men's got off to a slow first couple of games, but has come around to 4-0-4 and takes this one deep. Back going Jenick, and there's 2 away.
Only about 10 feet shy of the fence.
He got some power. You know, Engelbrecht may not impress you in size, but the kid can hit. He did very well for Joe List past couple of seasons during the summertime. Has done very well over at Harrison High School.
Well, your power comes from strength in your hands and your wrists and your forearms. It really has not a lot to do with size.
Irons proving that last year. Great first year for Kevin Irons. He reached on an error, popped out to the pitcher. Maverick back and 2 innings ago. Takes this one down to Morrissey. And the first 1-2-3 inning it is for Maverick, as he sits him down in order for a first time tonight. 4 innings in the book, and the good news, the Eagles up by 4. Our score 4-0. All the runs coming in inning number 1. On a Saturday night, you're watching USI baseball only on TV 52.
Settling an injury claim with an insurance company can make you feel like a kid again.
Okay, both of these for Mace.
You find yourself negotiating with an experienced and smooth-talking opponent.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a great deal.
Before you make a deal the insurance company says is fair, seek advice from someone who will look out for your interests, not theirs.
I'm gonna go ask my dad.
Berger & Berger, making a world of difference.
Since 1913, our family helping your family with purchasing a home. Since 1913, Helfrich Insurance has been the independent agent for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. For a fast comparison quote, call the Helfrich Agency today. Good protection and prompt claim service. Helfrich Insurance, coverage you need at a price you can afford.
Welcome back to USI Baseball Saturday night. Our first look at the Eagles here on TV 52. Here we are in the top half of the 5th inning, and the Eagles up by a score of 4-0. Grosvenot, Steer back on top to Schuster. About 8-9-1 here in the top half of the 5th inning. Strong start here for Niemeyer. Continues here, facing 3 batters back in the 4th inning, 4 in the 2nd and 3rd, and back in the 1st inning. So a strong start for Nemo. It is 1-0 here to lead things off in the top half of the 5th inning.
Niemeyer settling in, and thanks to some great defense by teammates, he's not throwing as many pitches as his opponent.
Countryside, Illinois, Lions High School for Grosvenot in his junior year here with Irish O'Reilly, the longtime head coach here of Lewis. Has some great players over the years, has some great teams to boot. 2-1 here to Grosvenot. Steer on deck. Moving along rather quickly after a long first, with the Eagles score 4. Down to Carpenter and tries to get him, but not in time. Carpenter had to hurry. It just died there on the grass between Niemeyer and Carpenter. Another nice job by Craig to get to that pretty quickly, and a speedy Grosvenod just beats him out.
Well, Niemeyer had a shot. He dove at the ball. Didn't get his hands on it. They weren't expecting that. Playing a little bit deep at third.
So that brings up Kevin Steer.
Struck out. Is only at bat in the second.
Steer again, the former player for Olney Central Junior College, where he did very well.
Got to play at second. Overthrow.
A little bit high that time. Not the best from Niemeyer. Lamb did a good job of preventing that one from going into center field. That's your obvious move, I think, that quickly. But the first two aboard here for the Flyers, and their most early success off of Niemeyer here comes in the top half of the fifth inning.
Score that a single.
So Grosvenod down at second, and Steer at first base. Had Schuster's number twice now. Struck out looking in the first and got him swinging away in the third.
Well, they've got a threat now. This would be a perfect place for a double play.
First bit of noise really for Lewis. Mentioned sitting him down in order back an inning ago, and Schuster's job just to move those up to second and third.
Niemeyer anticipating another bunt from Schuster.
And your best hitter on deck in Rick Moss. So here come the Flyers with runners at first and second. And that's going to get the job done. Over to first for the guaranteed one. But Schuster does the job, and now second and third here, and here come the Flyers.
That a sacrifice. Well, they're not scoring hits and errors on the scoreboard here today. I would assume that
Next up for the Flyers, third baseman, number 40, Rick
was a
Moss.
hit, even though it was a high throw.
Well, here's a situation Lewis wanted to be in. Two runners in scoring position, and Moss now 1 for 2 today, with a pretty good hitting Brooks on deck. So a chance for their first bid against Niemeyer. And down to second base, Lamb will let the run score. One comes across, get the second out. One in for Lewis makes it a 4-1 game. And there's 2 away.
Scored, it's another sacrifice as the run scores.
Next up for the Flyers, the first baseman, number 16.
Nice to get out of this inning with just 1 run.
Well, Lehman scoreless for 4 innings. Finally some noise here in the top of the 5th for Lewis. USI again, all their 4 coming in the first. And there is strike 1 here to Kurt Brooks. Two down, top of the 5th, 90 feet away. Kevin Steer. And Grosvenod already in. Didn't miss by much in a 1-1 count.
Brooks with a sacrifice fly in the first and a hit to center field in the third.
1-1 from Niemeyer. Comes back again with a 1-2. Niemeyer's been in control now. A little bit of trouble now for Todd, but has not shown any signs of fading.
Umpire behind the plate a little bit slow in calling balls and strikes. Somewhat dramatic. Nice stop there.
Two and 2 now from Niemeyer. 4 strikeouts for Nemo so far, 21 on the year. 2-2 from Niemeyer. And on the outside, got him looking. Brooks didn't think so. Niemeyer gets out of the jam. One of those 2 come in. The last 3, he'll get in order. After 4 1/2, close the gap to 3, 4-1 USI. We move to the bottom half of the 5th inning on a Saturday night of USI baseball on TV 52.
Think about this. The things you want to protect the most are the very things we can protect the best. James Will Insurance. Performance. The best way to gauge ours is to ask one of our clients. James Will Insurance. Insurance since 1962.
You can be sure you're getting the lowest prices on tires at Raven with our double the difference price guarantee.
Raven Tire will give you double the difference back.
That's right. Raven Tire will give you double the difference back if within 30 days you find a lower advertised price on the same tire.
Yeah, you stand a better chance of getting struck by lightning. The Tri-State Rise on Raven Tire.
USI winning 8 of their last 9 games, including sweeping IU Southeast back on Tuesday afternoon. USI's last loss coming a couple of weeks ago, actually on the 11th. I guess it's about a week ago. Over at Columbus, Eagles won 8 of their last 9. Right now 4-1 up on Lewis, and that one gets away from the first baseman trying to get him in time. It does anyway. Brooks, who stumbled a bit, had some help from the second baseman, and Favrick also over there as well. They get the first one.
Almost looked like he was able to get there, but Bruck with not as much speed as some of the other players. He's in there for his power and
third baseman, number 32,
his availability to scratch from the first base position.
So Croc gone. Here's Craig Carpenter. Eagles trying to go to 11 and then 12-4. Watching game 1 of 2 today over here at USI. USI and St. Joe again tomorrow. First pitch 12 noon tomorrow. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Carpenter.
I don't know where the camera can pick it up, but all the smoke out of the field coming from the concession stand grill. Frying up some burgers.
You've had what, 4 already? This is only opening day. Was it you that had a burger and inning back in the Quincy game? That was you. 2 balls and a strike here to Carpenter. Junior college All-American last 2 years. Takes this one down to Grosvenor down at second base, 2 away. So Croc down, Carpenter down. Brings up Ryan Seidel.
Reached on an error and was other at bats put out at
next up for the Eagles, the right fielder, number 14,
base and the second
Ryan
base.
Seidel.
Seidel now in his senior year, trying to get those numbers back, which he had in '92. 313 his first year. Not bad either in his sophomore campaign at 273. He slipped to 256 last year, but came on a lot better in the second half of the season. Ryan Seidel in his senior year here with USI. 2 down, bottom half of the 5th inning. Eagles up 4-1 on Lewis.
This game turned into a pitcher's duel. We got to Lewis early in the first inning, batted around, and since then struggled.
Coming back against second by Vavrick at a 1-2 count.
Though we've struggled offensively, we have not struggled defensively.
Faced 10 batters back in the first inning. There's where his 2 strikeouts come. He's looking for his 3rd. That one taken out of play. Count holds up 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Seidel. Of course, Seidel seeing more at-bats last year than his first 2 years combined. 160 plate appearances last year for Seidel. Had 64 in '92, just 33 in '93. Comes to this season, an average of 272, not bad. And Seidel into this one at 304. Nice grab by Moss over at 3rd. And just for a second time today, USI has retired in order. Great grab by Moss to send us to the top half of the 6th inning. Eagles up 4-1 on a Saturday night with USI baseball, right here on TV 52.
Taroni's Forget-Me-Not, Weinbach and Division, and Taroni's Pizzeria and Bakery at 408 North Main are open Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. and Saturday at noon for lunch with daily specials from 11 to 2 and daily drink specials throughout the day and evening. Join your friends for great conversation and pizza, whether it be lunchtime or evening time. Take advantage of the drive-thru at the Weinbach location or the carry-out at the North Main location. That includes breads and cookies. Also join us on Monday evenings at 7 for the USI basketball coach Bruce Pearl radio show live from the 408 North Main location. For pizza that can't be beat, it's Taroni's. See you there.
Suffering from aches and pains? Make MedFirst your first choice. With over 100 years combined experience in spinal rehabilitation and pain management, your relief is our first concern. MedFirst, make us your first choice. For first-rate care, make MedFirst your first choice. Qualified orthopedic physicians, general practitioners, and state-of-the-art methods combine to give you the best, well-rounded care, including school and sports physicals. Open 6 days a week. MedFirst. Make us your first choice.
Top half of the sixth inning, alongside Warren Disler, I'm Darren Smith. USI up by a score of 4-1, trying to make it 9 of their last 10. This was 1 of 2 today for USI in Lewis, opening up a GLVC weekend.
Well, last inning, Lewis was able to get on the scoreboard with the 1 run.
Leading off the sixth inning for the Flyers,
ready for a big
center fielder, number 35, Brian Gibbons.
Lewis trying to get themselves right back into it. Gibbons do 0 for 2, struck out back in the third, 1 of 5 strikeouts by Todd Niemeyer. Nemo faces 5 back in the 5th inning. Struck out Brooks looking. After the first 2 reached, Grosvenor scores. That's the 1 on the board right now for the Flyers. 4-1 USI. And the 0-1 pitch by Niemeyer. Trying to get him on the outside again. And a 1-1 count.
Didn't miss by much.
I think both Niemeyer and that of Vavrick have pitched very well. And when they've missed, they've not missed usually by much. Just 7 hits on the board, 2 errors apiece of hurt. 2-1 now from Niemeyer. Niemeyer's not walked anyone yet. This one a bit deeper. And in between a couple. In between Engelbrecht and Seidel, between center and right, on his way to second. That's a leadoff. Stand-up double.
Just what USI didn't want to happen. Runner in scoring position.
Second extra base hit that off of Niemeyer. Grounder will go by Mike Marisi, who steps up now with 1 down over at second base.
Both benches out in front of their dugouts.
Well, the teams that are probably going to meet again, you can almost bet on it, they're going to meet in the GLVC tournament. And they met quite a few times last year. Center field, Jay Engelbrecht. And holding up is that of Gibbons. So 1 away. And now Lewis down to their final 5 outs, down 4-1 to USI.
Engelbrecht with a great arm.
You talk about Engelbrecht's bat, and it's certainly very much talked about in his years over at Harrison. It was going to be talked about last year. He was redshirted for USI. He is a great defensive player.
A lot of teams would have sent their runner from second on the tag up with the arm that Engelbrecht had. Got that ball into the cutoff man.
Right now you're down by 3 if you're Irish O'Reilly. And right now he needs base runners. He's down again to his final 5 outs. It may drop to 7-7. USI trying to go to 11-4. Start off the GLVC right. 0-1 here.
Well, Janik reached on a fielder's choice in the second.
This one's trouble as it's in between Engelbrecht and Seidel back at the warning track. In between the two, this is going to score Gibbons. Gibbons will cut the lead in half, and a third double, RBI double for Ron Janik. And this lead now 2 at 4-2 USI. So Janik picks up an RBI and is on base the second time, reached on a fielder's choice back in the second. He's down at second with the 1 away. And here is Dave Bernhardt, who's off to an 0-2 start. And right now they're talking to Niemeyer. First appearance by Gady, and Adler joins him on the hill.
Probably want Niemeyer to get him through this this inning so they can bring in a stopper.
Mike Fetcher warming up right now in the bullpen.
Umpire thought they'd had enough time to talk about it.
So Lewis makes it interesting here in the top half of the 6th inning, and a game scheduled for 7.
Next up for the Flyers, the catcher.
Here again is Dave Bernhardt. Out to right field, and Seidel back in the 2nd inning. Struck out looking to end the 4th. 1 down, 1 on, and 1 already in for the Lewis Flyers.
Bernhardt represents the tying run.
And like a USI, a very strong 9 with Grosvenor and Steer rounding out 8-9. Go through a 3rd time now with the Lewis Flyers.
Lewis crowd becoming very vocal here.
Nice group up from the Chicago area tonight. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Went after a bad pitch. Imagine the adrenaline that's pumping in Bernhard right now.
Bernhard coming in again, 179. Former player over at SIU. 1-1. Playable for Seidel. Would be a big second out. Let's see if they send the runner Janik. Nice arm again. Great job by Seidel to get that win in a hurry. And a big second out. So Grosvenard, who got it started back in the 5th inning. The first to score for the Flyers. Singleton scored.
Next up for the Flyers.
Back an inning ago.
Number 5, Chris Grosvenard.
He's gone Rick Moss's way both times at bat. Got a hit to third, and then also a bunt. He reached. It was scored as a hit. I guess the second error against USI was that overthrow to second. Didn't have it scored that way.
Now Grosvenor on the tying run. That a bit high for ball 1. The Eagles up now 4-2 on the Flyers. Lewis beating Princeton last week. Lost to Providence College, the only one they were really out of completely. They were actually out of 2. They lost to Shippensburg 18-8. In Providence College, the Friars beat them 18-4. They have been in basically all the rest. Talked about that Florida Atlantic game where there was 31 runs scored, and they lost to 16-15 over in Florida.
Must have been on an East Coast swing. Villanova, Shippensburg.
Some of these, I imagine they met down in Florida. Barry's in Florida. Lynn, they lost to Lynn 3-2. There's another D2 power in Lynn.
Wonder how much money comes into the state of Florida from college baseball
or
teams.
Georgia.
Yeah. Or South Carolina.
2-1 pitch. Trying to get out of it in foul grounds. Is that heading out of play? It is. 2-2. Lewis, some impressive wins this year. I mentioned that they may have lost to Villanova a couple times, but I told you they beat Boston University. They beat your favorite team, Warren, in Slippery Rock. I think you graduated there in 39.
1839.
2-2.
Have you ever met anyone that went to Slippery Rock?
Yeah, you. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 away from getting out of it, as Lewis is down to their final 4 outs and trailing 4-2. Watching out at second, Janik. And he lost a first walk given up by Niemeyer, so now first and second for the Flyers.
Now went to Ball State. Name the most famous Major League Baseball player from Ball State. Played for the Orioles, I believe.
Eddie Murray.
Marv Redmond.
Can't win them all.
Pinch hitting for the Flyers, number 10, Tim Ciesla. Ciesla, pinch hitting.
Tim Ciesla batting for that of Kevin Steer.
Putting the pressure on USI. Go ahead, run at the plate.
Or 1 out to get out of it.
Well, he can now turn the double.
Cecil batting 286. It's only at bat number 8 for Tim. In a 4-2 ball game. Slow roller. Niemeyer to first, and he has him. So a little scare as Lewis puts 1 more up on the board. This time they'll leave 2, and they'll be down to their final 3 outs when they go to the top half of the 7th. Before that, bottom of the 6th, and the Eagles up 4-2 on a Saturday night with USI Baseball on TV 52.
Since 1913, our family helping your family with purchasing a home. Since 1913, Helfrich Insurance has been the independent agent for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. For a fast comparison quote, call the Helfrich Agency today. Good protection and prompt claim service. Helfrich Insurance, coverage you need at a price you can afford.
An injury can mean the loss of activities you enjoy. The attorneys at Berger & Berger understand how an injury can change your life. For over 40 years, they have provided professional representation to those with personal injury or wrongful death claims. Services will be provided to you at no cost until your case is resolved. Berger & Berger, making a world of difference.
Field for the Flyers, number 36, Damon Anderson.
Bottom half of the 6th inning. USI up by a score of 4-2.
Number 36, Damon Anderson.
All they needed was for Niemeyer to get him out of the inning without any more run scoring. It's exactly what he did. Really sets it up well. Any runs that we can develop here certainly would aid the cause.
Sam Marks begin the bottom half of the 6th inning. Damon Anderson now playing left field for Lewis.
Marks reached on a walk and got a hit to center field in the 3rd.
Right.
9 hits on the board. 6 of those belong to Lewis. 3 hits for USI. A couple of walks and errors hurt, helping on their 4-run first inning. Swing and a miss here by Marks, and he is down 1 away.
Really, the 2 errors by Gibbons. It's the only reason that we're leading this game right now.
Next up for the Eagles, the catcher, number 31, Darrell Adler.
Darrell Adler sacrifices last at bat, struck out looking back in the first inning. He was trying to add some more to a 2-run lead. Lewis gets one of the last 2 innings in a 4-2 ball game, scheduled to go 7 here in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Yeah, 2 of our 4 runs are unearned. Will not go against Favorite's record.
0-2. Maybe the best Mike has started out so far. Bottom half of the 6th inning.
And one of his earned runs is on a wild pitch. So that wasn't a hit situation.
He's retired the last 7, sending down the Eagles in order the last 2 innings. I think that the last 8 with Marks going down moments ago. 0-2 here to Adler. Corey Lamb on deck. And out of play, keep the count 0-2. USI and St. Joe tomorrow. First pitch 12 noon. You will see game 1 of that doubleheader. Tomorrow night following the Bruce Pearl show. Bruce Pearl tomorrow night at 10:30. Then we'll take you right back out here at 11 o'clock tomorrow night.
Do you like the week layoff between the NCAA regionals and the Elite 8?
Hey, talking basketball, yeah, definitely. I think it prepares you for what is going to be the most grueling part of your season. To win the national championship, now you've got to win 3 games in 4 days against the best teams in the country.
Don't you feel that it can be a momentum stopper?
Didn't stop us too bad last year, and only falling short in the championship game. Down goes Adler. Again, you'll see USI basketball on Wednesday night at 10:30 from Louisville. And the NCAA, again, not allowing live coverage of the Elite 8 this year from Louisville, within a 500-mile radius. And Louisville's, what, about 110 miles from here, maybe?
It's to our advantage. We'll have the crowd.
I believe about 1,000 tickets have been sold to USI fans. Right around that number. I may be a little off, but
I think they just picked up 100 more from another school.
I suspect we'll show up well in Louisville. The outfield. Gibbons lets it bounce once in front of him and a 2-out single as Corey Lamb is on for a 2nd time tonight.
And I believe that the second set of 100 tickets that they just got from one of the other schools is right behind the USI bench.
Really? I did not know that.
Those are better tickets. I think that those of you that maybe have already bought your tickets that may want to trade them in may want to call the athletic office out here. I might be wrong, but I believe that's how I understand it.
So USI gets set to contend for the national championship in basketball. The USI baseball team off to a tremendous start. Lamb trying to get second base is gone. So he'll face 3 anyway as he has the past 2 innings. They're down to the last 3 outs. Last call for the Lewis Flyers, top half of the 7th. We go there next on TV 52.
Cashing a check was hard enough when all you needed was 2 pieces of ID. But now...
I see you have a blue card, yellow card, green card, and gold card, Mr. Gray. But here you need a green, gross, or red card. So follow the magenta line to the blue counter and have Mrs. White green light your red card.
All you really need is the bonus check card from Old National Bank. It's accepted virtually all over town because it's not a check cashing card. It's the card that works like a check, only better. From Old National, your bank for life.
The blue is you, Mr. Gray.
The contingency fee has been called the poor man's key to the courthouse, and unquestionably it is. But it's also the key to the courthouse for the middle class and independently wealthy people. They prefer that the attorney who handles their case, when it's an injury case, handle it on a contingency. When they've got medical bills that many of which aren't paid, when they've got income that they have lost, and they've got a family to support, the last thing that person needs is to be paying some lawyer an hourly rate.
Last call for the Lewis Flyers, top half of the 7th inning. Eagles up by a score of 4-2. Run in the last 2 innings here for Lewis. Eagles have a 4-run first as they face 10 batters. Eagles 4-2 here. Last 3 outs here for the Lewis Flyers.
And we see Vavrick swinging the bat over there. He's going to come to the plate as a pinch hitter for Schuster.
Schuster's not had a lot of success.
Pinch hitting for the
Sacrifice.
Flyers. Number 2, Mike Vavrick. Vavrick, pinch hitting.
Well, he's 351. So the pitcher steps in. 351 at bat number 38 of the year, so legit.
It's confusing enough with the DH. Then you throw the pitcher who has not had an at-bat in the game in as a pinch hitter.
He's had plenty this year, though. 351 hitting Vavrick. Now at the plate. And there is strike 1. The Eagles up 4-2 here in the top of the 7th. This would be it. 10 hits on the board. 6 belong to the Flyers. 1-1 now from Niemeyer.
Most pitchers at the college level were excellent hitters in high school.
I would probably say 90% of them, huh?
Yeah, most of your pitchers in the pros were probably excellent hitters in high school.
I'd probably say 95% of them. 1-2 here to Vavrick. Moss is on deck.
Coaches want them to concentrate on pitching. They don't get to take hitting practice. Obviously, Vavrick does.
1-2 pitch. We'll do it again.
Could get a car. Nope.
Lewis coming off a win over D1 Princeton. Need to come from behind on this one. Down 4-2 to USI on the outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Moss is on deck. 1 for 2 and a sacrifice. And then Brooks. 1 for 3, struck out the last time. That didn't miss by much. And now 3-2 to Vavrick. Niemeyer letting the first on last couple of innings resulted in scoring. 2 on the board. 3-2 pitch taken for a ride. Seidel backing up and off the wall. 370 away. So a leadoff double as the first aboard again for Lewis. And the tying run again comes to the plate. And son of a gun, it's Rick Moss.
3rd double for Lewis in the game. All in the same, almost same spot there in right center. Tied run comes to the plate.
Mike Gady will go talk to his pitcher.
I think he'll have to pull it now.
Thatcher had been warming up the past couple of innings. And it's nothing that Niemeyer hasn't helped himself out of. He's worked himself out of a couple of jams, but they are ready for Mike Fetcher. So we will take a timeout as Fetch comes on and tries to save this one for Nemo. USI up 4-2. Lewis down to their final 3 outs. Tying run will be coming to the plate when we come back. USI Baseball on TV 52.
You know, golf's a great game and affordable at Harpo's Custom Golf. They've got clubs of every shape and size and the ability to custom fit your clubs. Harpo's has new clubs comparable to name brands at a fraction of the price. When it comes to club repairs, from regripping to a new shaft, Harpo's Custom Golf has the lowest prices in town. See for yourself how affordable golf can be at Harpo's Custom Golf.
choose an attorney from Berger & Berger, you've chosen an experienced trial lawyer. So if a fair settlement can't be reached, your interests will continue to be well represented in court. Berger & Berger, making a world of difference.
Well, I'll take your first look at Mike Fetcher this year on 52. Fetcher comes in, now appearing in his 7th game, has pitched 17 innings so far this year for USI, has struck out 13, walked 8 at 2.12 ERA for Mike Fetcher in his senior year here. Trying to save another, as USI is up 4-2, but Lewis again threatening here in the top half of the 7th inning.
Fetcher, left-handed pitcher, will face the next two batters who will bat from the left side in Moss and Brooks.
Preseason All-American by Collegiate Baseball Magazine. Coming into the season, he needed just 5 strikeouts and 5 wins to become USI's all-time leader in pitching, and he will probably do that. He already has in strikeouts, and now just needs a couple of wins.
Third baseman, number 40, Rick.
Save home. Right now, Mike Fetcher is tabbed 1-1 on the year. 4-2 Eagles. And the first down to first base. Jason Kroc down to third. It will move Vavrick. But there's a big out and 1 away.
This is what Fetcher's forte is. Come in late in the game. He's your stopper.
Next up for the Flyers, the first baseman, number 16.
Had some arm problems, didn't he?
Oh, nothing really big. A little bit. He played some over the summer. He's just done very well. Here's a kid who could find himself pitching professionally. Here's Brooks with 1 away. 90 feet away is Vavrick. And Fetcher can try to save it for Nemo. In a 4-2 ball game. Fetcher missed by much.
Fetcher certainly is an imposing figure out there on the mound.
Right on him, Freddie.
2-0 by Fetcher. Nice pitch by Mike to come back 2-1. Got Fetcher here listed 6'3", 220.
Took a little off that last pitch.
3 he's missed, have not been by much. Now 3-1 to Fetcher. This could also set up a double play ball, so it's not the worst scenario. Gibbons, though, doubled his last time up, and he's on deck. Has to be there for Fetcher. 3-1 pitch, holds off, and now runners at the corners.
Of course, it was on the 2 errors by Gibbons in the first inning that allowed USI to jump off to the 4-0 lead, now standing at 4-2. So perfect opportunity for him to make up for the 2 errors. I'm sure that's on his mind.
Gibbons hit into a 4-3 back in the first. That would have been a double play ball. Now you have 1 over at first base. He ended the first inning, struck out in the third, doubled and scored back an inning ago. So here again, Gibbons. With runners at the corners for the Flyers, they are down 4-2 in their last 2 outs. The first may get in the one from third if it stays fair. Seidel goes over into the corner. And tacking up will make it a 1-run ball game and 1 out to go. 4-3. So Lewis answers with 1 the past 3 innings, but they're down to their final out. And Vavrick really had a good game throughout the first inning, where he had some help facing those 10 batters, but settled down nicely, and he's just come across the score in his first plate appearance. Here's Marisi. Lewis down to their final out with a tying run over at first base. And Fetcher comes with the first and didn't miss by much again.
Marisi's last at bat flied out to center field.
Eagles trying to beat number 12 in the country, Lewis, in the first of a scheduled 2. And that is heading out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Marisi.
Lewis is hoping that Marisi can keep them alive.
He got some speed over there in Brooks as well. He's out by 4 over at first. Janik on deck as they try to stay alive. And that's a base hit into right field. Seidel will come on, and they will send Brooks over to third base. Runners at the corners, and Lewis is still alive.
Wouldn't be surprised. I don't know, with 2 outs, they shouldn't try the double steal, but stranger things can happen.
Never underestimate that of Irish O'Reilly. Like I said, he's been around a while. Spotted USI 4 in the first inning and has come back to whittle away this lead. 2 down and runners at the corners for the Flyers. And here is Ron Jenick.
Next up for the Flyers, the right fielder, number 4, Ron Jenick.
See if they don't send Maurice.
90 feet away, the tying run. Fetch throws the first. A bit high for ball 1. One out away from starting the GLVC season off 1-0. And into right field as Seidel goes over. That's heading into foul territory and out of play. So 1-1 now to Jenick.
Hey, Ronnie, here we go.
All the Flyers have been hitting the ball very well. It's spread out the last couple of innings.
Jenick had a double to right center field in his last at bat. Reached on a fielder's choice in the second. Rounded out to second.
Go get him, Mike. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 away. And down to Carpenter. Goes to second. And USI holds on for the win. Well, a little scare there towards the end as Lewis whittled away one of the last couple of innings. A 4-run first inning helps USI defeat Lewis for first time this year, 4-3.
USI wins it 4-3. Trying to see what the final total of hits were here. They got more hits than we did, but it was the 2 errors that made the game. Yeah, Lewis with 8 hits, USI with just 4 hits. Both teams with 2 errors.
First inning hurt as they faced 10 batters. I say they, a couple of costly errors, as you mentioned, helps USI win their first GLVC game of the year, 4-3. Warner and I will wrap it up when we come back.
For years, you've depended on State Farm to insure your home. Daddy! But did you know you can also depend on us to provide financial security for those you love? State Farm. We sell life insurance.
If you're looking for the right place to gather with friends or a night out with the family, then either of the 2 Taroni's locations will make your evening. Taroni's Forget-Me-Not of Weinbach and Division or Taroni's Pizzeria at 408 North Main. You'll enjoy a unique atmosphere at either location, which includes dining on the glassed-in porch at Taroni's Forget-Me-Not. If you want to enjoy your pizza at home or at work, call ahead and take advantage of the drive-thru at the Weinbach location or the carry-out at North Main, where you'll also find fresh baked bread and cookies to take home. Visit Taroni's the next time you eat out. Both locations open at 11 a.m. daily.
Well, USI will begin this weekend off not bad at all, defeating the number 12 team in the nation. Begin it with a defeat over Lewis. Lewis made it interesting towards the end. I give up 4 runs in the first inning, but USI holds on for a very impressive 4-3 victory.
Well, you look at the scorebook, and Lewis really kind of outplayed USI with the exception of the 2 errors in the first inning, allowing USI to bat around. 2 of the runs were earned, 2 of the runs were unearned. One of the earned runs was off a wild pitch, so kind of a strange victory for the Screaming Eagles this afternoon. But in baseball, you'll take them any way you can get them.
It's just the beginning for USI. This was 1 of 2 against Lewis. Tomorrow, St. Joe comes to town. First pitch out here tomorrow at 12 noon, and you will see that game in its entirety. Game number 1 of that doubleheader tomorrow night following the Bruce Pearl Show at 11 o'clock. Eagles win the game 1 of their big 4-game GLVC weekend. For Warren Disler, I'm Darren Smith. Good night, everybody. This has been a presentation of TV 52 Sports, recognized around the tri-state as the leader in local sports programming.